My 8-year-old son, Tyler, was in the back seat playing his Nintendo Switch when he looked up and said it. "Dad, why is Mom's car always at Uncle Jake's house on Tuesdays?" I almost drove off the road. "What?" "Uncle Jake's house," he repeated, like it was the most normal thing in the world. "Every Tuesday after school, when you pick me up, we drive past his street and Mom's car is always there." My hands tightened on the wheel. "You're sure it's Mom's car?" "Yeah, the silver one with the dent on the bumper from when she hit the mailbox, remember?" I remembered. My wife, Lisa, told me she had yoga on Tuesday evenings, 6 to 7:30, every week for the last 6 months. Jake was my brother, my younger brother, the one who'd borrowed money he never paid back, the one who'd crashed on our couch for 3 months last year, the one who'd stood next to me at my wedding and promised to always have my back. I pulled into our driveway, hands shaking. Tyler hopped out, oblivious, already running inside to show his mom his new high score. I sat in the truck, staring at nothing. Then I pulled out my phone and did something I never thought I'd do. I texted my brother, "We need to talk, tonight." 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. Finally, "Sure, what's up?" I didn't answer. Instead, I opened my laptop and logged into something I'd set up years ago and forgotten about. Our family's shared location tracking, the app Lisa insisted we all use for safety. I scrolled back. Tuesday, last week. Tuesday, the week before that. Tuesday, the week before that. Every single Tuesday for 6 months, Lisa's phone pinged at the same address, Jake's house. 6:15 p.m. to 8:47 p.m., like clockwork. Not yoga, not girls' night, not errands. Jake's house. I closed the laptop and made a decision. I wasn't going to confront them, not yet. I was going to do something better. If you want to know what a man does when his 8-year-old son accidentally exposes his wife's affair with his own brother, hit subscribe, because what I did next didn't just end the affair, it ended everything they thought they knew about me. My name is Nathan Cross. I'm 37 years old, and I live in a suburb outside Phoenix, Arizona. I'm a data analyst for a mid-sized insurance company. I work from home 3 days a week, make decent money, about $95,000 a year, and I've been married to Lisa for 10 years. We have one son, Tyler. He's 8, smart kid, too smart sometimes. We live in a 3-bedroom house with a 2-car garage and a backyard that's mostly dirt and a trampoline Tyler never uses anymore. From the outside, we look like every other family on our street. 2 cars, a dog named Biscuit, and a mortgage we're slowly chipping away at. Normal, stable, safe. Except it wasn't, and I'd been too blind or too trusting to see it. Lisa and I met in college, Arizona State. She was studying marketing. I was deep into computer science, spending more time in the lab than at parties. She was the one who dragged me out of my shell, made me go to football games, try new restaurants, meet people. I fell hard. She was fun, spontaneous, everything I wasn't. We got married at 27, had Tyler a year later. For a long time, it was good. But somewhere around year 7, things started to shift. She got restless, started talking about how boring our life was, how we never did anything exciting anymore. "We're not old, Nathan," she'd say. "We should be living." I thought she meant trips, date nights, maybe a hobby. I didn't realize she meant someone else. My brother Jake is 2 years younger than me. He's the guy everyone likes at parties, charismatic, funny, always has a story. He's also the guy who can't hold a job, can't pay his rent on time, and has a new business idea every 3 months that never goes anywhere. Growing up, I was the responsible one. Jake was the fun one. I got good grades, he got detentions. I saved money, he spent it. Our parents loved us both, but I always felt like I was the safety net and Jake was the tightrope walker. When he moved to Phoenix 2 years ago, I helped him find an apartment,
co-signed his lease, lent him $3,000 to get on his feet. He never paid me back. But he was family. That's what you do, right? Jake and Lisa always got along, maybe too well. At family dinners, they'd joke around, share memes, gang up on me in a playful way. I thought it was nice. I thought it meant we were all close. I didn't see it for what it was. Looking back now, the signs were everywhere. The way she'd light up when he texted, the inside jokes I wasn't part of, the time I came home early and she was on the phone, laughing, and hung up quickly when she saw me. Who was that? Just Jake. He's being an idiot. I didn't question it. I should have. The yoga thing started 6 months ago. Lisa announced she was joining a studio downtown, Tuesday and Thursday evenings. I need something for me, she said, something that's not just mom stuff or work stuff. I supported it. I thought it was healthy. Go for it, I said. I'll handle Tyler. So every Tuesday and Thursday, she'd leave at 5:45, come home around 8:30, hair damp, yoga mat under her arm. She'd talk about the instructor, the poses, how sore she was. I believed every word. Until Tyler, in his innocent 8-year-old way, shattered the whole thing with one question. After Tyler's comment in the car, I couldn't think straight. I went through the motions, dinner, homework, bedtime routine. Lisa came home at 8:47, right on schedule. How was yoga? I asked, voice steady. Good, she said, dropping her mat by the door. We worked on balance poses tonight. I'm going to be so sore tomorrow. She kissed me on the cheek and headed for the shower. I sat on the couch, staring at the TV, not seeing anything. Biscuit nudged my hand. I scratched his ears. What do I do, buddy? I whispered. He just looked at me with those big brown eyes, like he knew something was wrong but couldn't help. I pulled out my phone and opened the location app again, scrolled back through weeks of data. Every Tuesday, every Thursday. Jake's house.
Not yoga, not the studio, not anywhere near downtown. Jake's house. I didn't sleep that night. I lay next to Lisa, listening to her breathe, and felt like I was next to a stranger. How long had this been going on? 6 months? Longer? Had it started before the yoga lie, or was yoga just the excuse she needed? And Jake, my brother, the guy I'd helped, the guy I'd trusted, the guy who was sleeping with my wife. I wanted to scream. I wanted to shake her awake and demand answers. But I didn't, because I'm a data analyst. I solve problems with information, not emotion, and I needed more information. The next morning, I called in sick to work. Lisa left for her job, she's an office manager at a dental practice, and Tyler went to school. I sat down at my computer and started digging. First, I pulled up our cell phone records. I have access to the account, so it was easy. Texts between Lisa and Jake, hundreds of them. I couldn't see the content, just the timestamps and frequency, but the pattern was clear. Multiple texts every day, calls that lasted 20, 30, 40 minutes, way more than you'd expect between a sister-in-law and brother-in-law. Next, I checked our credit card statements, charges I'd never noticed before, restaurants I'd never been to, a hotel in Scottsdale, one night 3 months ago. I'd been out of town for a work conference that week. She'd told me she was staying home with Tyler. The hotel charge was for 2 people. I sat back, staring at the screen, feeling sick. This wasn't just an affair. This was a relationship. Planned, deliberate, ongoing, and they'd been hiding it right under my nose. I thought about confronting them, bursting into Jake's house on Tuesday, catching them in the act, but that felt small, reactive. I wanted something better. I wanted the truth to come out in a way they couldn't spin, couldn't deny, couldn't escape. And then I remembered something. 2 years ago, when Jake moved to Phoenix, I helped him set up his home security system, a Ring doorbell, cameras in the front and back. He'd given me access to the app so I could help him troubleshoot. I'd never removed myself as a user. I opened the app, and there it was. Live feed, front door, driveway. I could see everything. That Tuesday, I told Lisa I had a late meeting. No problem, she said. I've got yoga anyway. I watched her leave at 5:45. Yoga mat, water bottle, the whole performance. I waited 10 minutes, then I opened the Ring app. At 6:03, Lisa's car pulled into Jake's driveway. She got out, no yoga mat, no water bottle. She walked up to the door. It opened before she could knock. Jake appeared, smiled, pulled her inside. The door closed. I sat there, phone in my hand, watching the empty driveway. My wife, my brother. I felt nothing, not anger, not sadness, just a cold, clear certainty. This ends tonight. I didn't go to Jake's house, not yet. Instead, I called a lawyer. Her name was Monica Reeves. She'd handled a colleague's divorce 2 years ago. He'd recommended her with one sentence: she doesn't mess around.
I told her everything. The affair, the evidence, the timeline. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she said, "Arizona is a no-fault state. The affair won't affect the divorce itself, but it will affect custody and asset division if we play it right." How? Infidelity shows character. It shows deception. If she's been lying about this, a judge will wonder what else she's lying about. She paused. "Do you want custody of your son?" "Yes." Then we document everything. Phone records, location data, witnesses. We build a case that shows she prioritized an affair over her family. What do I need to do? For now, nothing. Don't confront her. Don't tip your hand. Just keep gathering evidence. I hung up and opened a new folder on my laptop. I labeled it Evidence, and I started filling it. Over the next 2 weeks, I became a ghost in my own life. I smiled, I made dinner, I helped Tyler with homework, I asked Lisa about her day, laughed at her stories, kissed her goodnight. And every night, after she fell asleep, I sat in the dark and compiled evidence. Screenshots of location data, call logs showing hundreds of calls to Jake, credit card statements with charges I cross-referenced to dates she'd claimed to be elsewhere. I even pulled the Ring footage from Jake's house, saved every instance of Lisa arriving, staying for hours, leaving late. I organized it all into a timeline, clean, precise, undeniable. Monica reviewed it and said, "This is airtight. When you're ready, we file." "Not yet," I said. "Why?" "Because I want them to think they got away with it." The breaking point came 3 weeks later. It was a Saturday. Jake came over for a barbecue, family thing. My parents were there, Lisa's mom, Tyler. Jake brought beer, joked around, played catch with Tyler in the backyard. At one point, I was standing at the grill flipping burgers, and I saw them, Lisa and Jake, by the fence, talking low. She laughed at something he said, touched his arm, right in front of me, in front of our families. My dad walked up, beer in hand. "Good to see those two getting along." I nodded. "Yeah, real good." That night, after everyone left, I told Lisa I needed to talk. "About what?" "About us." She tensed. "What do you mean?" "I think we should separate." Her face went pale. "What? Why?" "Because I don't think you're happy, and I don't think I am either." She started to argue, started to cry, started to promise we could fix it. I cut her off. "I've already talked to a lawyer. I'm filing on Monday." "Nathan!" "I know about Jake." The room went silent. Her face crumbled. I don't know what you're talking about." I pulled out my phone, opened the Ring app, showed her the footage. Her, Jake, the door closing. "I know everything, Lisa." She stared at the screen, then at me. Then she did something I didn't expect. She got angry. "You've been spying on me?" "I've been protecting myself." "This is insane. You can't just—" "I can, and I am." I stood up. "You'll get the papers Monday. You can stay here tonight, but tomorrow I want you out." She left Sunday morning, packed a bag, didn't say goodbye to Tyler. I told him Mom was going to stay with Grandma for a little while. He asked why. because sometimes grown-ups need space to figure things out. He nodded, didn't push. Smart kid. Monday, Monica filed the papers. By Tuesday, Lisa had hired her own lawyer. By Wednesday, Jake called me. "Nathan, man, we need to talk." "No, we don't." "Come on, let me explain." "Explain what? That you've been sleeping with my wife for 6 months? That you've been lying to my face every time I saw you?" Silence. "There's nothing to explain, Jake. You made your choice. Now live with it." I hung up. He didn't call back. The divorce took 4 months. Lisa tried to fight for custody, tried to claim I was controlling, that I'd isolated her. Monica buried her with evidence. The location data, the hotel charges, the ring footage. The judge wasn't impressed. I got primary custody. Lisa got every other weekend. She also got to explain to Tyler why Mom wasn't around as much anymore. I didn't tell him about the affair. He's 8. He doesn't need that. But one day, he'll ask. And when he does, I'll tell him the truth. Not to hurt his mom, but because he deserves to know that actions have consequences. Jake moved back to California. Couldn't afford Phoenix anymore without my help. My parents were devastated. They didn't take sides publicly, but I could see the disappointment in their eyes when they looked at him. Lisa and Jake didn't last. Turns out, an affair built on lies doesn't make a great foundation for a relationship. Shocking, I know. 6 months after the divorce was finalized, I was putting Tyler to bed when he asked, "Dad, are you mad at Mom?" I thought about it. "No, buddy, I'm not mad." "Are you sad?" "Sometimes, but mostly I'm okay." "Me too," he said. Then quieter, "I'm glad you're my dad." I kissed his forehead. "I'm glad you're my son." After he fell asleep, I sat on the back porch with Biscuit and looked up at the stars. I thought about everything I'd lost. My wife, my brother, the family I thought I had. But I also thought about what I'd kept. My son, my integrity, my self-respect. And I realized something. I didn't lose. I let go. There's a difference. A year later, I met someone. Her name's Rachel. She's a teacher. Divorced. No kids. We met at a coffee shop. She spilled her latte on my laptop, apologized profusely, offered to buy me a new one. I laughed. "It's fine. It's backed up." "You're very calm for someone whose computer just got baptized in caramel macchiato." "I've been through worse." We started talking. 1 coffee turned into 2. 2 turned into dinner. She didn't know about Lisa, didn't know about Jake, didn't know about any of it. She just knew me, Nathan, the guy who drinks too much coffee and makes bad puns. And that was enough. Tyler met her after we'd been dating for 6 months. "Is she your girlfriend?" he asked. "Maybe. How do you feel about that?" He shrugged. "She's nice. She laughs at your jokes when they're not funny." "That's true love, buddy." He grinned. I never told Rachel the full story. Not at first. But one night, after Tyler was asleep, we were sitting on the couch, and she asked, "What happened with your ex?" I thought about lying, keeping it vague. But I didn't. I told her everything. The affair, the brother, the evidence, the divorce. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "You did the right thing." "You think so?" "I know so. You protected your son. You protected yourself. That's not revenge. That's self-respect." She took my hand. "And for what it's worth, I'm glad you did, because if you hadn't, I wouldn't have met you." I kissed her. Me too. It's been 3 years since Tyler asked that question in the car. 3 years since my world fell apart and I had to rebuild it from scratch. I still live in the same house, still work the same job, still drive the same car, but everything else is different. Tyler's 11 now. He's doing great. Honor roll, soccer team, happy. Rachel and I got engaged last month. Small ceremony planned for next spring. Lisa remarried. Some guy she met online. I don't know much about him. Don't care to. Jake and I haven't spoken since the divorce. I heard through my parents that he's doing okay, working in sales, dating someone. I hope he's happy. I really do. Not because I forgive him, but because holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. I let it go. Last week, Tyler and I were driving home from soccer practice when he said, "Dad, can I ask you something?" "Always." "Do you ever think about what would have happened if I hadn't seen Mom's car that day?" I glanced at him in the rearview mirror. "Sometimes." "Would you still be married?" "Probably, for a while at least." "Are you glad I said something?" I pulled into the driveway, turned off the engine, turned to face him. "Tyler, you didn't do anything wrong. You asked an honest question. And yeah, it changed everything, but it changed it for the better." "How?" "Because now we're living in the truth, and the truth, even when it hurts, is always better than a lie." He nodded. "Okay." We got out of the car. He grabbed his soccer bag. "Hey, Dad?" "Yeah? I love you." "I love you too, buddy." That night, after Tyler was asleep, I sat on the back porch with Biscuit. Rachel was inside, reading. The house was quiet. I thought about that day 3 years ago, the question that changed everything. "Dad, why is Mom's car at Uncle Jake's house every Tuesday?" 7 words, 1 innocent question, and a lifetime of consequences. But here's the thing, I don't regret it. Not the investigation, not the divorce, not the fallout. Because that question gave me something I didn't even know I'd lost. My life back. Not the life I thought I had, the life I actually had. And once I saw it clearly, I could finally build something real. If this story hit home, comment truth over comfort. If you've ever had to choose between a comfortable lie and a hard truth, if you've ever rebuilt your life from scratch, if you've ever protected what matters most, this one's for you. Hit subscribe for more stories about the quiet strength it takes to walk away from what's broken and build something better. Because sometimes the hardest question leads to the best answer. And sometimes the truth sets you free.